Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beyond's Remote Jobs Fair. I hope everyone is all settled and ready for the next hour where we'll learn more about the experience of working at Beyond. I'm Mariana Trindade, and I'm part of Landing.Jobs team, and I'll be your host for today. I know some of you probably already know Beyond very well, but for those who don't, let me introduce you to the company very quickly. Beyond is a design and technology agency that builds world-class products for the digital age. The company is made up of creative designers, insightful strategists, and of course, exceptional engineers, focusing on creating and delivering beautiful experience for the clients, which include Google, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, and PayPal. Pretty impressive, right? Today we have here with us Cassiano Surek, the CTO of Beyond, Miguel Caires, the Director of Engineering, and Lucia Mendes, their QA engineer. If you have any questions throughout the session that you'd like to ask our speakers, please feel free to do so in the Ask a Question section that will be below the screen, and we'll answer them all at the end of the event during our Q&A. During the event, a link with Beyond's open positions will be available in case you wish to apply for their positions of engineering manager, senior backend developer, senior front-end developer, senior QA, or senior DevOps engineer. You can access this link even after the event ends. And for the people that are just now joining, welcome. My name is Mariana. We're about to start Beyond's presentation to get to know more about their company. So Miguel, Cassiano, and Lucia, thank you so much for coming here today. The stage is all yours.
Lovely. Thank you, Mariana. It's very exciting to be here and spending this time with all of you. We have prepared some content today that we'll share about Beyond. But before we do that, we can just give you some intros. So I'm Cass. I am the Beyond CTO, as Mariana mentioned, and my main responsibility at the business is to set our technical strategy and to ensure that we have an amazing team to deliver and work with our clients and the various things that you see shortly. So with me then, in order for us to walk you through all of that, I'm delighted to be joined by Miguel, our Director of Technology based in the UK, and also Lucia, our QA engineer, and she's based in the northern part of Portugal, near Porto. Right. I am based in Lisbon, so I'm delighted to bring these very competent professionals to talk to tell you about Beyond and what we do. But I'm even more delighted to spend this time with you to tell you about our story, how we can make an impact in the world. So the next 50 odd minutes that we're going to spend together then are going to be then broken down as such. So I'll tell you about the company, about who we are, a little bit of our setup as well, what clients we work with, some examples of the material that we've been able to develop with them. I'll hand over then to Miguel, who will talk about what we do. He's going to then give you more of an insight about technologies that we focus on, the type of services that we work with our clients from an engineering perspective. But he'll also talk about the positions, the roles that we have in the engineering team as we work with our clients. Later on then, Lucia will walk us through a very important area of our business, which is ensuring that engineers go through a growth trajectory. And in that then, they also include a great experience around diversity, which we believe that helps us build a lot richer experiences with our clients. Right, so at the end then we'll have a Q&A where we're going to be very happy to answer any questions that you may have around that. So if we then advance to paint a picture of who we are, then we are a company that focuses on product design, so digital product design. So what we do, we leverage design and technology to create products that deliver best-in-class customer experiences and transformation business value. Right? And in order for us to do that, we use a product mindset to help us deliver that value. Ultimately, we want our clients to go further, and we believe that we can design a better future together. So we partner with people who want to design that future with us. When we talk about then the type of clients that we work with, we have worked over the 12 years that we've been in business with clients that are very big and others that are not so big, but equally important and equally impactful. Most of these brands you will recognize depending on where you are in the world, but there are a number of very substantially impactful work that we've developed with them, and I'd like to highlight a few of them. So with Google, we have developed a platform for e-learning to ensure that digital skills then disseminated throughout the world, and that's Grow with Google that Miguel will talk about a little bit later in a bit more detail. But just this week, we launched Google's Global Fiber Impact Explorer, which helps the industry, the fashion industry, understands the impact that they have when they source the raw material, and also how they can leverage and better sustainability in their products. So this is quite an exciting work that we've done with Google that has a demonstrable impact in the world. Also, interestingly, we work very closely with Snap. For them, we created their creator hub, right? So the experiences that are created around Snap then leverage that experience that we have worked with them. But also, some of you may have used already. So if you've gone to the Snap for Developers part of their site, then you would have used some material that was produced by us. We've also then touched on a few other AR sites that they've created as well. So we've been developing quite an interesting partnership with them, and naturally we tend to do a lot more interesting work with them as a result. And interestingly, the final one on this slide here is about our experience with the Warner Brothers. And you would have seen naturally the Harry Potter series. So we were able then to work with them to develop an experience for their tour, their Harry Potter studio tour in the UK, which actually lended us to spend a good field trips to their studio there to learn and immerse ourselves into the Harry Potter world, which was quite memorable. Right, so, but the point here is that we like to partner with these clients that really want to deliver impactful work to the world, make it better, make the world better, and ensure that, of course, we have a good deal of fun in the process. If we then talk about where we are located, we originally originated in London, so it was London, San Francisco, and New York, with studios, with brick and mortar studios. But these days we have hubs. Right? We have hubs. We are remote first, not primarily, but we have these hubs in which people meet each other, congregate, share experiences from time to time. So I am calling from the Lisbon hub, right? But and Lucia joins us here from time to time. Miguel then goes to the London hub also frequently to ensure that he has the quality airtime with his team and clients as well when necessary. But that said, we have people spread across a number of locations. So, and in particular, our engineers are based in North America, so the West and East Coast, and some may have moved already from those areas as well into Central America. We have some folks in South America, so in Brazil, in the southern part of Brazil at the moment, and naturally we are in Europe, where we're dialing from, Portugal, UK, Spain, Poland. So the idea is this, that we increasingly allow our workforce, our talents to be positioned where it makes more sense to them, provides good quality of life, but then naturally we are close enough to work with our clients. So we do have, we set the company in a way that we want to deliver great work for our clients. So I will hand over to Miguel, who will be able then to talk about what is it that we do and give some examples of the projects that we've delivered with our clients.
Thank you, Cas. Hi, everyone. My name is Miguel. I'm the Director of Technology at Beyonds. I've been in the business, going to be 6 years in January. I was hired by Cas back in Jan 2016 as a senior front end, and I've been in the company ever since. So for this next section, I'm going to talk to you a bit about the kind of services that we offer at Beyond from an engineering perspective. And I'm going to also showcase a couple of projects that we've worked on. One of them for one of our biggest clients, Google, and then another one for a healthcare startup that is based in Australia. So in terms of what we do, we basically offer, in a very broad perspective, three main services. We offer technical discovery, we offer solution design, and solution delivery. And this applies to both system architecture from mobile and web perspectives. And it's one of those solutions that when we partner with our clients, it's not just a standardized process. We tend to be able to adapt our workflows and our ways of working based on the client's needs. For instance, if a client needs an end-to-end solution, we will potentially go through with them with the journey of the technical discovery, understand what their pain points are, suggest and design a solution, and then go to the actual implementation of that solution. Or if it's a client that only needs us to identify a problem and they will action it later, we also do that service. So we tend to be quite flexible from an engineering perspective to make sure that we can deliver the best service to our clients. In terms of technologies, obviously we operate on the web and mobile space. The big players, big frameworks come into play here: the React Natives, the Pythons, the Angulars, the JavaScripts. I mean, I could list all of these technologies that you can see on the screen. But worth highlighting is that we're also super proficient in cloud services architecture. So we have certified engineers in Google Cloud in the Google Cloud platform. We are Google Cloud certified partners. We are also pursuing that status with AWS. And conversely, it's also worth mentioning that from a quality assurance perspective, the team that Lucia is part of, we've made a very, very big push in the past few years to enable automation within our team, because we felt that with the headless methodologies of this life, the heavy data load projects that we've been receiving, that visual testing was not enough for the service offering that we provided to our clients. So we've done a very, very big push. And for that, we've adopted frameworks and tools like Selenium and Robot Framework. In terms of client work, as I mentioned, I'm going to walk you through two projects. The first one being the one that Cass alluded to earlier, where we've inherited a platform back in 2017 from another agency. This was is a project done for Google. Cass and I were part of the team that actually pitched for this piece of work. And it's basically a work stream that divides into two main platforms. So there's the content piece, which has been released across 25 different markets being countries and languages. And that is predominantly the marketing platforms that will help sell the Learning Hub. The Learning Hub is the one on the right, called Digital Workshop. Potentially some of you on this call may have done degrees on there as well, certifications on there. And it's basically a learning tool, an online learning tool that has been released across 54 markets. and has 11 million users globally registered within the platform. It covers all kinds of degrees. It started as a digital marketing certification, but then with the demands and suggestions from the clients and the actual users, the clients being the students, job seekers, small medium businesses, etc., Google has decided to establish a list of partnerships, as you can see in the bottom of your screen, with the big talent providers, or the big training providers rather, that are out there in the market. So institutions like Coursera or FutureLearn have some of their courses enabled within this platform. As I mentioned, this is something that we took over as a platform. We're their engineering partner. And since 2017 up until the current phase, we went through different inflection points throughout the journey. So the first one being in 2017, being how we can improve the technical and functional aspects of the platform whilst migrating to GCP, basically taking better use of the tools that we have online to make sure that the platform was responsive, because there were a few flaws that we've identified, a few shortcomings that we've identified in terms of performance that needed immediate action. Then around the 2020 mark, we focused on the data. When we inherited this platform, it was something that was had 5-6 different data sources, from spreadsheets to FTPs to manual custom-built CMSs. So we had to reimagine the architecture of the platform to make sure that it became future-proof and scalable. And now what we're currently facing, because this platform has some years in it already, obviously technology has an expiry date. This platform was initially built with Python 2 and AngularJS, which are technologies that have reached end of life. And therefore we had to put mechanisms in place to make sure that we could, whilst keeping the platform online, that we were able to upgrade these technologies. This is one of the examples that we have where we've done an end-to-end build, where we've had to use Google's own internal technologies that aren't necessarily available to the wider public, namely Bracket, which is a static site generator, and Kintaro, which is Google's internal CMS, as well as industry standard technologies like GCP, Python, and Angular. As I mentioned, the big challenge with this one was how do we make sure that we can evolve the platform, remove the technical debt, and still implement new features that the local markets request us in order to take the platform further from a functional perspective. Then I would like to talk on a completely different spectrum. This is Google, obviously. It's one of the FAANG companies. Everyone knows Google. We also work with smaller businesses. So this is an example of a project that we did for a health tech startup based in Western Australia called Artria. So what Artria do, they have machine learning algorithms and artificial intelligence that, based on CT scans from your heart, they identify the probability of you developing stenosis. Stenosis being basically your blood vessels become too thin that the blood cannot flow freely. And they've also identified plaque, which is basically, if you can see the screen in the middle, those little white spots that you see there that provoke the tightening of those vessels. So we partnered with Artria to create this dashboard that you can see that could be used by radiologists and cardiologists that would allow them to very, very quickly identify within the vessels regions of those vessels that would potentially be with a high risk of stenosis. So if you see those vessels there that have that traffic color system, that was a model that we built in Three.js that is completely interactive. You can zoom in, zoom out, rotate it around, and it synchronizes with the CT scans that are available in the middle of your screen. So as you move your cursor through the vessels on the 3D model to the left, everything is synchronized. So this was a way that we found, and obviously this has to be super responsive because we cannot have a platform like this. We're literally potentially saving lives here with facilitation of quicker diagnosis. So we have to make sure that this is performant, responsive, and basically tackles the functional needs that it's supposed to. This one, as I mentioned, was more of a front-end perspective. So we partnered with Archery. They provided the back end, and this was a headless project. So instead of the Google stack that I just spoke about, this one we used the exact opposite. So we used React, we used AWS. It was a RESTful API, as I mentioned, 3JS. And we also used Canva, which is basically a tool to allow us to manipulate the HTML5 canvas more interactively. Another thing worth mentioning about this project was that we covered 5 different time zones to be able to tackle this. So we had user research based in the West Coast in San Francisco in North America. We had the design team based in New York, the East Coast in North America. We had the engineering team based in London. We had QA based in the Ukraine, and the client was based in Western Australia. So it doesn't get much more global than this. We literally tackled the entire world to deliver this project. So now I want to talk to you a bit about the team setup that we have, which is what brought us here today, the roles that we're hiring for, and our recruitment process before I hand over to Lucia. So very quickly, as you may have seen, there's a connection to the technologies that we use. These are more or less the teams that we divide ourselves in at Beyonds. So obviously there's the mobile, be it hybrid and native. There's front-end, solution architect, engineering manager. I'm not going to list them all. But these are basically our structure. And the ones that we're hiring, that you can find the relevant ads on Landing.Jobs, are also mentioned underneath each of the areas. Worth mentioning that we will soon, because we're changing our business model within the engineering organization, we're soon going to be hiring for a solutions architect. So if there are any solution architects in the audience, even if it's not open, and for that reason, even for any of the other roles, if you feel like we would be a good fit, do get in touch. Let's see if it's something that can work for us. On the recruitment process, because this is something that we know that people that attend these job fairs would want to know, I'm just briefly going to walk you through how we recruit at Beyond. So obviously there's a CV screening that is done via Landing.Jobs. Then if the CVs that are selected, we go through recruitment screening. I know that we have people from our recruitment team on this call. They will contact the prospective candidates. They will try to understand their goals, ambitions, explain a bit about Beyond, what we do as a business, and see if there's a chemistry there for both parties. Then, if successful, there will be an online assessment that we send across. We have customized exercises for each of the roles that we're hiring for. And those roles give us an opportunity from our engineering team to actually save time, the candidates' time and our time, and to be able to provide feedback in a more expedited way about the personal technical skill set. So if we feel that it's a good match, we proceed based on the results of the online assessment. We proceed to the technical interview. The technical interview is where 2 members of the engineering team will talk to the candidates, depending on the role that it is. So for different roles, different contexts, different exercises. But it's where we're going to cover the candidate's experience, where we're going to talk a bit more about technical lingo. Sometimes, depending on the role, we do have live coding exercises, and to also give candidates the opportunity to talk about or to ask questions about the engineering organization, the technology, the stack, approaches, anything that they deem fit to ask at that point. Then finally, there's a cultural interview, which is usually a 30-minute chat with either myself or Cass, where we cover everything else. So if you manage to get to this point, means that from an engineering perspective, you will be a good fit. Now we just need to determine if you are the right fit for Beyond and if Beyond is the right fit for you. Because one of the things that we value very much within the business is the cultural. Obviously, we appreciate the technical skills, but equally important for us are the soft skills and what that person can bring to the business, and if the business can help that person succeed and evolve in their career. That is pretty much it in a nutshell of the type of work that we do, the technologies, the positions that we're hiring for, how we hire. So now I'm going to hand over to Lucia, where she's going to talk about our growth and diversity initiatives at Beyond. Over to you, Lucia.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Lucia. I'm a QA engineer, and as Miguel and Cass, I've been with Beyond for a very, very long time, all the way back to April this year. So it's been 7 months this month that I joined Beyond. So I'm going to talk to you about what really makes a difference and how Beyond is different from many other companies in the market. So as a lot of you might know, there are a lot of companies that really talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. They all say that they want to be there for their employers, be there for their growth. They want to be diverse. They want to be everything, but then you don't really see the actions. And as part of the company, all we want is for the companies to show us what they're doing, not to tell us what they're doing. At Beyond, I'm proud to say that we talk the talk and we really walk the walk. There are several programs set in place. This is just a few that I'm gonna talk to you about. So one of the ones that we have is the Leadership Development Program, which is an annual training program. It takes about 6 to 9 months and is open for everyone at Beyond. It doesn't matter if you are junior, senior, it really is open to everyone. And an example of it is myself. I had been with Beyond for 2 months and I applied for this program and I actually got in. All you need to do is have an initiative. So, for example, this year, Beyond recognizes how women have specific challenges in leadership and how they want to have more women representing in leadership positions. So they opened a leadership development program to women. All you had to do was log in an initiative that could help the business or help Beyond grow in a way. And if your initiative is chosen, then you're in. All of this is done anonymously. So you set in your initiative and there is a group of people that is choosing who goes in. And this is all anonymous. So there is no favoritism or anything. You go in because you deserve to be in. For example, is about the gender gap on the tech team, which is something that we are working on and that we really want to improve at Beyond. Then we also have a DE&I Council, which is Diversity, Equality, and Inclusion Council. This council is made up from individuals from all different backgrounds, ages, and walk of life who bring support and guidance to the leadership team. And Beyond has, through the years, set in place what we call Belong at Beyond framework. So it's a set of tools that helps everyone and leaders in the teams make everyone feel like they belong at Beyond. And why do we do this? Because diversity and equality and inclusion in our sector is a significant and important challenge. Problems of discrimination and inequality go beyond gender. It affects race, age, neurodiversity, socioeconomic background, and even geography. And this is something that we really want to tackle, and we want to be as diverse and inclusive as we can. And finally, the last program I want to talk to you about is Above and Beyond. So this is a recognition that we have at the company, where every quarter we have meetings for the entire company with the entire hubs that are called Be Connected. And we talk about what's going on with the company. And at the end, there is an Above and Beyond prize that is done by your peers. So your peers, through the week before to this meeting, can submit, like, why do I think that this person has been above and beyond? And this helps to everyone being recognized, and not to go through the steps of me being a new QA engineer, need to have other people that, for example, I'm in Lisbon, people in London or people in the US knowing what I've done for me to be recognized. So everyone in the team, everyone in the company can vote. And again, one of the reasons how this works is I've been in the company for 7 months and I already won an Above and Beyond prize because I was recognized by my peers. So yeah, there is this and much more at Beyond. I hope you enjoyed this part of the presentation. And yeah, take a look at the job openings. Back to you, Miguel. Or Cass.
Yeah, it's actually to me. Yeah, thank you, Lucia. I'm hugely proud of the great impact that you've had in the team, in our engineering practice, and in the business in such a short period of time. Right. So yeah, there are a lot of exciting things that we can all do together. It's a pleasure to share a little bit of our history, our origins, our interests, our also appetite for making things better. But before we bid you farewell on this session, it will be a pleasure to answer some of your questions as you've been sending them through the
Thank you,
chat.
Cassiano and Miguel and Lucia. As Cassiano said, we're now taking questions. For those who joined, who were not here at the beginning, you can ask your questions in the Ask a Question section. And the first question is from Danielle. What would you say are the main challenges for Beyond in 2022?
Yeah, I can take that one. So thank you for the question, Danielle. So Beyond is all about experience, right? Having a good experience internally and also externally. And the way that this manifests itself is how we ensure that our team has the best experience working at Beyond, how they are able to, whenever the time is for them to move on, they can really see that they have a massive impact in their lives and also in the world, but also with our clients, right? What are the experience of our clients whilst working with us? So I would say that what permeates our challenges for next year around the ever increasing distributed nature of how, firstly, we work and we interact with our clients. For the way that we work, as I mentioned, it's about experience. So we strive to give our talents the best possible experience that we can. Whilst you are in an office, this means doing a few things. As you start to become more distributed, then there are all sorts of other components that make up a good experience for our workforce. So we are growing, we're learning as we go as well. We managed to put a number of components in place in order to provide that level of experience to our team, right? But this is quite a significant, substantial challenge. And the other one, still around experience with our clients, is so how do we pitch for that work remotely? Right? There's a component of a change, an evolution that we need to go through, to be able to interact and engage meaningfully with our clients. Right, so it is, whilst we can say that there are challenges, I see challenges as opportunities as well. So there's a lot of opportunity in evolving the way that we work within our teams and work with our clients as well.
Great, thank you so much, Cassiano. We have a lot of attendees from around the world, so I would like to ask you if you could clarify how your remote policy is, so everyone is on board with it.
Absolutely. We, in this movement of distributing, working distributed with our workforce, that we evolved from the hub or the offices that I mentioned to these hubs, and we're increasingly looking at ways to welcome talent from an ever increasing group of countries of the world there. So at the moment, we have a policy of remote working that is more easily achieved with countries that are in North America, South America, Europe, and we are naturally not thinking about ways of how we can incorporate other countries into that mix. Right. So and I say that because when we talk about remote working, it's not only about someone having a good connection or being in a compatible or favorable time zone. There are contractual elements as well of how we engage with these talented professionals. Right? There's remuneration considerations as well on how we go about that. Right? So the appetite is for us to embrace many, many more countries as we evolve, but our fully remote focus at the moment are across Europe, UK, and America, right? North and South America. South America being more of an anchor in Brazil.
Thank you so much. The next question is, what are the learning opportunities at Beyond?
Can I throw this over to Miguel?
Thank you. So we have quite a few on all types of areas. So a good example is what Lucy just mentioned about the leadership program. I have been on a mentorship, formalized mentorship program through Beyond as well as part of my career progression. We do have budget that has been allocated, substantial amount of budget that is allocated on a yearly basis to our teams to enable training. Obviously, conferences, courses, certifications, anything that would elevate the craft of the team and that is relevant, we would look into and we would try to facilitate. Obviously, as I mentioned in the beginning of the call, we have the Google Certified Partnership. So Google Cloud Certification is also something that we try to push our engineers to undertake as they join. So there's a series of programs and initiatives that we can definitely look into, and something that we haven't even looked at. We're open to suggestions. If someone from the team comes and says, I want to learn this because I think it would benefit the company in ABC, let's look into it. Let's make it happen. It's going to make you evolve in your career. So let's do it. So there is a lot of flexibility. There is a lot of appetite because we know that learning is fundamental for career progression, and we want people to feel supported in that way.
Great, thanks so much, Miguel. Another question, what can a new hire expect from their first times at Beyond?
Lucy, you can take that one.
Yeah, so it's a lot. You have, because for me, for example, Beyond was my first experience of being fully remote. So coming into a company fully remote. But what I can say is that everyone is very, very welcoming. Everyone is super nice for you at Beyond, no matter where they are. Everyone is very open to help. And yeah, you get all that you need given to you. You have a laptop. For example, for me, I needed my workstation. So as a tester, I got my laptop, I got a screen. I got support from my manager. When I joined, I had a buddy with that I had meetings every 2 weeks just to check how I was, what I needed, and to kind of like explain to me how everything works at Beyond. And if I needed someone to talk to and I didn't know quite well, I would go to my buddy and I was like, okay, so who can I talk to have this? And yeah, and it's weekly meetings. So that for the entire company where we just catch up on what's going on. We celebrate everyone as well. We celebrate birthdays and beyond anniversaries. Yeah, it's a lot and all good things here at Beyond.
Great, thanks so much, Lucia. To wrap up, I would like to ask each one of you, what's your favorite thing about Beyond? I don't know who wants to go first.
Yeah, I can go first. I think the progressiveness that we have, the sense of experimentation that we have as a company, the ability to dare the status quo and move forward, try new things, experiment, and in order for us to do that, then you need to naturally connect with like-minded folks for you to trail that path. So there will be, I've seen a question around the engineering manager position that we didn't cover here, but this is one thing that we're also creating a new model. We're experimenting with it, which is quite exciting. So at Beyond is this, there's a sense of experimentation and we build better things together. And that's what made me actually come back to Beyond, because I was at Beyond from 2015 to 2018, left and then returned last year as a CTO in order to work with a team in this new cycle, right? But this progressiveness and experimentation.
Okay, I just found one more, sorry. Most engineering manager positions appear very similar, so I would like to know what is really important for Beyond. What are you really looking for in your perfect candidate?
Yeah, I started to answer that, but I'll have Miguel go over this as we've been working on that model together.
Thank you. So one of the things that we've identified is that being an agency, the traditional role of an engineering manager does not really work for us, because usually an engineering manager is within a product business, has their fixed team, and is able to work on a specific feature of a product with that team. At Beyond, if you're a manager, you will have people that will be working on 10 different projects, and 6 months pass, those people may be working on 10 other different projects. So there isn't that easiness of being aware of what your report is doing, being able to support them. So there is quite a challenge for us in that sense. And that's why we had to come up with this model, and we introduced the concept of mentorship programs as well, to make sure that our people were still feeling supported from a career progression perspective. So to answer the question directly, what we want someone that has this experimentation mentality, because obviously we know that this is something new that we're trying. We've done a lot of research to see what is out there in the market and what kind of things can we apply to our reality. But there are some things that are very particular to our business. So we want someone that has this experimentation culture, that has a growth mentality, that values people and their own growth, that likes to support, that likes to bring in an input. We don't want followers, we want leaders. We want people that are able to help us shape what this role may become. So those are the kind of characteristics when we are on the hunt for a candidate that we tend to value.
Okay, just one more then to wrap up. What are the chances for developers from Africa getting a job? Also, the technologies you've mentioned so far seem streamlined, as haven't heard anything about PHP. What do you have to say about this? I don't know who wants to go.
I think the position of talent, then, as I mentioned earlier, we're constantly wanting to expand where we're able to accommodate and welcome engineers. This means that I would invite anyone to apply for these positions, right? Because we do have the appetite to expand those areas. I know naturally, proximity of Portugal to Africa then puts us in a favorable position for that, for some of the questions there. So I would say that, yeah, we have areas in which we can accommodate and welcome people more easily and others less so. But ultimately, I would like to see whether we can accommodate people irrespective of where you are.
Perfect.
If I can just compliment Mariana from a technology perspective. Obviously, we had to, for the duration of the call, we had to select 2 projects. But we do have projects with CTCPs, with PHP. We have a big project with the government of California, where we have a series of platforms that have been built with WordPress and PHP. In order that the main focus for that product is to prevent the teenagers from smoking, including vaping and whatnot. So we do have quite a meaningful project done in PHP. We have a couple more opportunities out with clients that are bound to come in the new year that are also done with PHP. So it is something that we also have coverage. Just didn't talk about it during the presentation for the sake of time.
Thanks for clarifying, Miguel. I think I interrupted you earlier when I was asking what's your favorite thing about Beyond. So I would like to know what is your favorite thing about Beyond, Miguel, and then Lucia, please.
As cliche as this may sound, I think that the favorite thing that I prefer more about Beyond are the people that I work with. It's the amount of brain power under this roof, well, virtual roof these days, because obviously where everyone's distributed, is impressive. Obviously, you will have, not every day at work will be an amazing day, regardless of what you do. There are days that you're in a better mood, days that you're not. But one thing you can rest assured that you will not have at Beyond. You will never have a boring day, because the people that I'm lucky to work with, and the amount of brain power and effort and quality that they bring to the table, that just challenges me on a daily basis. And I know that I have to be on my best shape mentally in order to be able to keep up with them, because it's just too much talent under the same roof. So if I had to sum it up, it would definitely be the people.
For me, like Miguel, one of the parts is definitely the people, but it's also from a professional point of view is the sea of possibilities, because we are an agency and we can be working in a project this week and we can be working in another one next week or in 2 weeks from now. For example, at the moment, I'm in three different projects, which I really like. But I already know that I have a different one set up for January, which I'm really excited about. So you don't have a chance to get bored at Beyond, which is really, really good.
Thank you. I think that's our time for today. Thank you so much, Lucia, Miguel, and Cassiano. And thank you to our audience for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the event and learned a lot about Beyond. Remember that if you like today's presentation and wish to join Beyond, you can apply to their open positions at Landing.Jobs or through the link that is going around in the chat. Worry not that the link will still be available after the event ends. Thank you so much, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks to our friends at Landing.Jobs for organizing all of this. And great to spend this time with all of you. I hope that you're part of our journey as well.
Our pleasure.